You guys should see a little red flashing dot in the top left corner of your screen. So we are going to get started with today's lesson. Today we are going to be continuing our discussions on food storage. So when we were last in school face-to-face, we were talking about where in a grocery store you find food. And we had talked about the produce section, we had talked about dairy section, and we talked about freezer section, I think. So we have not gotten all the way through our grocery stores, but we have been practicing these skills for quite a while together. So this is something that you guys can do at home with mom and dad. You can help them with the groceries. When you go around the grocery store, you can find groceries. But when you get home, we need to know, where should you put food? So that's what we're going to practice today. So if you're at home with mom and dad and you want to put this into action, help them unpack the groceries. That would be super good. Take a picture if you do and send it to your teachers. We would love to see you guys helping. So today we are going to discuss the option of refrigerator, pantry, or freezer. And we're going to need our ABC cards today. So make sure you guys have those. I do not have mine today, so I'm going to pull up some pictures real quick. I was not prepared today. It's not a very good decision, Miss Ashley. What were you thinking? And you guys can use your sign language, A, B, C, if you need to. That's also a super excellent way of communicating with your class. Okay, I got letter A, letter B, and I need letter C. So for the purposes of our lesson today, letter A is going to refer to our refrigerator option. Letter B is going to refer to our pantry option, and letter C is going to refer to our freezer option. So what I want to know today before we get started is, what is a pantry? Do you guys remember? What's a pantry? What's a pantry? Can any of our teachers help me remember what a pantry is?
A pantry is a place where you can store dry goods or canned good type foods. For instance, cans of soup, flour, cake mixes. Those are just a few examples of things that I have in my pantry.
Okay, so what's a freezer? Like, what's the difference between a freezer and a refrigerator? They're attached to each other, so they're the same, right?
Something you want to store for a long period of time and you're not going to eat it right away.
Okay.
And it's very, very cold.
Oh, so it's like when the food becomes like rock hard and solid and it's like icy feeling. And the fridge is when it's just cold feeling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's good to know. That will help me with this lesson. So a refrigerator is when we just want to keep food cold. A pantry is when food doesn't need any type of cold to store, and it's a dry food or an uncooked food or a canned food. And then a freezer. Oh, go ahead, Miss Connie.
Sometimes people call pantry just a cupboard.
Yeah, okay. So cupboard. And then a freezer is when food is like icy cold. Okay. All right. So
A is pantry, B is freezer, and C is refrigerator, or all the way around?
Nope. A is refrigerator. So when we look at our screen, oh, I'm not sharing my screen. That's why you guys don't know. Psh, you guys were going to let me teach the lesson to myself. Is this payback for tricking you last week? Okay. So when we look at the screen, a refrigerator is our one that's right. It's the first option. So that is going to be option A. Our pantry is in the middle. So that is going to be option B, our pantry or cabinet. And then C is going to be our freezer option. Okay. And just so you know, I'm going to be randomly calling on people to tell me why something should be stored somewhere. Okay. So where should I put it? Our first picture is of some grapes. Where do you guys keep grapes? Okay, I see a lot of your teachers picking A, which is our refrigerator option. Do you have to keep grapes in a refrigerator? Could you put them somewhere else? Miss Connie is shaking her head no.
Sometimes, sometimes we leave grapes out on our counter if we're
So,
going to eat them right away.
so that would kind of be like keeping them in a cabinet, only they're just out on a counter. Counter and cabinet are kind of the same thing, Miss Connie.
Yes.
Some
Okay.
people do leave them on the counter.
Yeah, so fruit does not always have to be put in a refrigerator. A lot of us like to do that because it helps keep the fruit fresh longer, but it does not have to go in a refrigerator. It could be either A, refrigerator, or B, like pantry or countertop. So our next one is eggs. Where should I put eggs? A, refrigerator, B, pantry, or C, freezer. And your teachers are all very frantically telling me A, refrigerator. And I agree. Can you freeze eggs? Could you put eggs in a freezer? No. Carla says she doesn't know.
No,
She's
it's not a
sure.
smart idea.
Oh, it's not a smart idea? Okay.
No.
Yeah, no. Frozen
They
eggs.
explode.
Yeah, not good. They blow up in your freezer, and that's pretty gross. Could you put them in the pantry? No, they're saying no because the eggs are going to get rotten, aren't they? And they're going to get stinky and we can't eat them then. Yeah, Miss Carla made a pinch her nose, like yuck face. Okay, so we know eggs can only go in the refrigerator. So our next picture is down here. It's a jug of orange juice. Where can you guys put orange juice? Can you put it in A, the refrigerator, B, the pantry, or C, the freezer? Okay, all your teachers are showing me A. Miss Connie, I can't really see yours. All your teachers are showing me A, the refrigerator, which is correct. Orange juice should be in the refrigerator.
You
But
can store it in the freezer.
so you can freeze it, Miss Carla?
Yes, you can.
Okay, you can. Should you have it open where part of it is out so when it expands or it gets bigger when it freezes, it doesn't blow up?
Yes. It's not
Okay.
recommended, but it can be done.
Okay, what about the pantry, Miss Carla? In our classroom, I know we keep orange juice in our pantry.
If it's unopened, yes, depending on the orange juice.
Good to know. So we have to know what type of beverage we have or what type of orange juice we have. What type of drink? Beverage means drink. So that's important to know. How about strawberries? Strawberries are a fruit. Can they go in the refrigerator, the pantry, or the freezer? Miss Connie, I can only see your ceiling. Okay, so we have A, strawberry. Your teachers are saying should go in the refrigerator, and I agree. Strawberries need to be kept cool so they don't get moldy and yucky. Can you leave them on your counter or in your pantry? Could you leave them on your counter or in your pantry? All your teachers are kind of going, ugh. Yeah, because strawberries, they get soft really easy and they get gushy and then you can't eat them when you leave them out. So it's better to put them in your refrigerator. Can you put them in your freezer? All your teachers are saying, yeah, strawberries can be frozen and they're really good frozen in like smoothies or on ice cream. So that's a really good one to know. Okay, next page. Where should I put it? And it's a gallon of milk. Should milk go in the refrigerator, the pantry, or the freezer? Miss Carla, you're right. So A is what most of your teachers are saying, and that's because we keep our milk in our fridge. And that's where it should stay because milk needs to stay cool. However, if you guys have milk and it's about to expire, oh my gosh, I'm losing my picture. You can put it in your freezer to keep it longer. Okay. It gets a little,
Bleh.
it's a little different, but
Yeah.
you can do that and it is okay to drink. What about chocolate milk? Is chocolate milk the same?
It is the same.
Yeah. All your teachers are showing me, yes, it's the same, or A. So good job.
Never makes it to the freezer in my house.
Yeah, milk usually doesn't make it in my house either. How about butter? Where can butter go? This is our butter right here. Can it go in the refrigerator, the pantry, or the freezer? All right, Miss Kasha is showing all three. Miss Denise is showing all three. And I agree, it is all three. So butter that you use, but you don't use it all the time. So maybe you only use it when you're cooking dinner, goes in the fridge. Butter that you use all the time and you want to be soft for spreading on toast or on bagels and stuff like that, or when you're baking, like Miss Carla bakes all the time, you want it in your pantry or on your countertop so it's soft and you can spread it easy. And then butter that you want to save for a long time, like because Miss Carla bakes, she buys butter in like bulk. So sometimes she might store it in her freezer so she has butter when she needs it later. So butter can go in all three places. Our next one is sushi. And I know a lot of you don't like sushi at all, but I want you to notice trash is not an option. Sushi does not go in the trash. Does it go in A? Yeah, Miss Kasha would have put it there. So you have A, refrigerator, B, pantry, or C, freezer. Where does it go?
Eating is not up there.
Yeah, tummy is not an option, Miss Carla. That's where you and I would put it.
I know.
So all your teachers are showing me A, that sushi should be stored in the refrigerator, and that's correct. Sushi is made out of fish, and it's important that we keep meat in a refrigerator so it stays cool.
Plus, Miss Kasha is allergic. So
Oh, yeah.
in my
So Miss
tummy.
Kasha should not have it at her house. Okay, so let's continue. We're gonna do, our next one is pizza. Does it go A, in the refrigerator, B, the pantry, C, the freezer, or Miss Ash, you be crazy, it goes in my tummy all the time? I see A and C. A and C. Your teachers are all saying A and C, which I agree. Pizza that you want to eat maybe the next day will go in your refrigerator. Pizza that you want to save for the next week will go in your freezer. But you know, some people actually leave their pizza out and they eat it off the counter. That like off the counter, off the box that was on their counter. So it kind of depends. I personally recommend this, but some people choose this one. But I recommend. So our next one is broccoli. And I can hear you guys saying, Miss Ash, I don't like broccoli. It's not in my house, but we still need to know where we would store it if we had broccoli in our house. Would it be A, our refrigerator, B, our pantry, or C, our freezer? Your teachers are saying, Miss Connie, you have to turn the brightness down on your screen. I can't see. C. Okay, Miss Connie says C, and your Miss Kasha and Miss Denise are saying A and C. Miss Carla is saying A and C. Okay. So A and C. So A, broccoli that you're probably going to cook that week could go in your refrigerator. So if you're going to cook it for dinner, you know, later in the week, you can put it in your fridge. If you're going to save it and you buy a lot of broccoli at one time, you can put it in your freezer and save it. So both are correct. These ones are kind of tricky today. I'm giving you guys lots of multiple choices.
Miss Ashley, can I add something?
Sure.
Typically, when you buy food at the grocery store and you buy it in the freezer section, like if I were to buy a frozen pizza or a frozen bag of broccoli, then I would bring it home and put it in the freezer because it was already in the freezer at the grocery store.
Miss Kasha, thank you for saying that. I was hoping someone would use that example or explain that to us. So when we talk about our grocery stores and the setup of our grocery stores when we're at school, we talk about food that's in the freezer section, and we talk about food that is maybe in our produce section, and sometimes they're the same. So if you buy something from the freezer section, you should put it in your freezer. If you buy something from the refrigerator section, you should put it in your refrigerator. If you buy something from the produce section, you so if you guys buy something from the produce section, you should put it in your pantry or your refrigerator, depending on what the item is. So thank you, Ms. Kasha. So our next one is ice cream. We have a picture of ice cream. Where should we store ice cream? A, the refrigerator, B, the pantry, or C, the freezer.
We also need a D, I think, in our tummies.
Tummy. Thank you, Kasha.
Right?
I agree.
Mine comes right from the grocery store to
With
my tummy.
Peanut butter and chocolate sauce.
Yes. So the correct answer is C. We would store it in our freezer if it makes it that long. Our next one is, where should I put, and this looks like meat, maybe beef of some sort, a beef-like item. So if you have a beef-like item in your house, where would you store it? A, refrigerator, B, pantry, or C, freezer. And your teachers are all saying A and C. So you're putting it in your refrigerator if you're going to cook with it pretty soon, like that night, maybe, or the next morning. And C, if you're saving it to cook with on a different day. Good job. Okay, guys, we're going to do 4 more and then we're going to be finished for today. You guys are doing excellent. We already did sushi, so we're actually going to skip this one. So you guys only get to do 3 more. Okay, so we have cauliflower. Cauliflower goes in the refrigerator, the pantry, or the freezer. I see A's and C's from your teacher. So yeah, much like broccoli, it is going to go in your refrigerator if you're going to cook with it pretty soon, or you bought it from the produce section. And C, if you're going to save it to cook with later, or you bought it from the freezer section. So A or C. Okay, we have this one right here, which looks like a burrito, perhaps like a tortilla wrap.
Yes, it's a burrito.
Yeah, so like a tortilla wrap. We're gonna assume it's not fully a burrito because then that would be harder to figure out where to store it. So we're gonna just call it a tortilla today. So a tortilla, would it go in your refrigerator, your pantry, or your freezer? Miss Carla says all, Miss Denise says A, and Miss Connie and Miss Kasha say B. So they're right. It depends on the type of tortilla that you have. So some tortillas, once they're open, they need to be in the refrigerator, or they're always in the refrigerator if you buy them from the refrigerator section of the store. A lot of pantries you buy in the ethnic food section, and you would put them in your pantry because they don't need to be refrigerated. If you want to save them for a long time, pantry and refrigerator section ones can go in your freezer. So food's kind of tricky. There's not just one answer. Our last one is cheese. Cheese is going to your refrigerator, your pantry, or your freezer. Carlos says A and C. Yeah. Most of your teachers are saying A because usually people buy cheese and they just eat it and it doesn't have a chance to go into their freezer. But if you have some left over that you want to save for a while, you can put it in your freezer. So that's awesome job. So guys, your homework for this weekend is, I would totally love it if you guys help your mom and dad unpack groceries, or when you help them make dinner or lunch, if you found items for whatever you're cooking. So if you're making tacos, help mom and dad pull out the ingredients for taco and talk about, was it in the refrigerator, the freezer, or the pantry? Send me a picture, send Miss Connie a picture if you guys do help with those or unpacking groceries. We would love to see how you're doing. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Bye, friends.